Okay, we got the fragrant Zither No.3Ti. This was actually the one that I wanted to get originally, but I ended up getting the plastic one, but that turned out to be maybe a blessing in disguise, because according to online stuff, these both the plastic version and this one essentially graph the same. But I was intrigued by these because I'm such a fan of the Kanas Pro. I know these are higher priced, but that's a nice starting point if that's where these start. Let me go ahead and pull this out. It's got... Okay, it's got a protective cover. I'm going to leave that on for just right now. Take the tip off. I'm going to do a comparison between this and the Kanas Pro, obviously. It almost looks like a rebrand, but there's very slight difference. I actually think that this shape is slightly different. I don't remember that little hook on the Kanas. It's more of a... it's not quite the same shape. So it's definitely not the same shell. So I guess I'll abandon my... like a rebrand, because that's apparently not the case. Unless I'm remembering very poorly, that does not look like. That is not the way that the Kanas Pro looks. So this is not a simple rebrand, which would make no sense anyway, since this is more expensive. But first thing I thought when I saw that is that could be the case. Not a bad thing, except these are more expensive. So why would you buy these if that offers more? The graph on the other one shows basically a Kanas Pro with a little more bass, which is actually quite appealing to me because I love the Kanas Pro. It's one of my favorites, but I do find myself wanting a little bit of bass sometimes. I'll spare you that. There's a set of tips and a little rubber bag inside here. Unless they're doing things differently now at TFZ, but I doubt that they're doing it. Forgive the hands. Cable that comes with this one is good. It looks a lot like the one that comes with the TFZ, or one version of that. Fragrance of the... Yeah, this is a nice cable. Nice and thick. No identifying marks on the Y split. Got a very sturdy chin slider. One of the better ones I've seen. And there's no rubber on the ends, which is actually cool, because this can go over your ear as it is. So cable passes the test. It looks very nice. We'll take it off. Yeah, that's not the shape of the Kanas Pro. So this is a different... See that blue flashing right there? I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, connect the cable, and do a little bit of brief listening, give some first thoughts on this. These are really... Let me get back to the beginning of that. This is Baby Blue, Badfinger. This sounds dope. I already did Blind Faith, Can't Find My Way Home, but people, I think, get tired of looking at a 12-year-old girl with no shirt on. Let me turn this down a little bit. Not off. What the fuck? Hold on a second. So you can see him. Can I get this in focus? If you're looking at the K&N6 II and thinking, I wish I had that right now. No. Wait like a month until they square this stuff away. Every other step produces no sound. It's so okay. It's not playing right now. All right, another day. This sounds like the Kanas Pro with the elevated bass, and one of the things that I had is, if I had any issue with the Kanas Pro, is that its bass doesn't have weight unless you input an instruction via EQ to do so. And then they sound great, but out of the box they're very polite, and they graph kind of like that. And this actually has elevated bass, and it sounds otherwise very almost identical. These are really good. I'm going to go ahead and do a full review for these, and in that review I'll pull in the Kanas Pro. I'll also pull in the Plastic Brothers of this. These sound fantastic in the mids where the vocals are. When that thing is playing music, which is, don't do it. What is it odd or even numbers? 46 is no. That's an even number. 47. So odd numbers? Even number, no. Never seen anything like that in my life. It sounds wonderful though, you know, but that's a kind of weird. Kane, if anybody knows Kane, could please take a look at that. This sounds like the Kanas Pro with elevated bass, which is music to some people's ears, because that might have been the only thing that they didn't really like about the Kanas Pro, is that it seemed to, of course it's a dynamic driver, and of course you can pump it up, and it's got a nice hard, I think, zinc, maybe shell, and you can push that driver, but some people just don't want to play with EQ. If you want to get something like the Kanas Pro with bass that's slightly elevated but not bothering the mids, to my ear, on a vocal track, 2 vocal tracks, this would be the winner. This would be something that's going to probably go on my list. I got to do a new top 5, top 10. And I'm a dynamic fan, actually. They just don't make a lot of good ones out of Chi-Fi that I really kind of dig. Tanchim Oxygen. I love it, but the stem is just a bit too short. Kanas Pro is fantastic. Not a lot of other high quality single dynamics out there. This seems to be something that's going to join that club or be the boss of it. I don't know which one yet, but these are definitely very nice. The cable is really good, quite thick. I got my package from Kevin, sent him some PayPal, and he sent me the gold, or the copper. But if you were to weigh this, it probably is about, it's same as gold by the grams. I don't know how much does gold cost. This was fairly expensive. But I get it out before I totally lose my focus. I know. Thank you, Kevin. Very much. Thank you. Sorry to everybody about the live stream. I'll talk about that at another time. We're going to Facebook from now on. These are really nice. How really nice are they? That's the thing I got to figure out. And once I figure that out, I'm going to put a green check next to this as it is, because these are fantastic. Where do they belong besides in my ears? On my list, I don't know. And if you're like, man, could you talk about music more? I'm going to do a review. This was just like, let you know I got them. Some people said, can you get your hands on them? Whoever you people were, you're right. These sound really nice. Really nice. Am I old-fashioned or what? You know, copper cable, dynamic driver. Put the copper cable on the dynamic driver. No. Empire Ears is the first one that gets this. That's it. I'm out. See if we can get this go one more time. There's no pressure on that. Remember what I told you guys about firmware? This is one that needs it. So I'll be updating the firmware on this thing. And this is the TFZ No.3Ti, which I think stands for titanium. So this must be titanium shell. I hope it's not anything else because it says TI. And I'm out, and a review will be coming. And a review between the BGVP Art Magic and also the Kevin's QDC Anole VX. They're going to do battle. One is twice the price as the other, but is there a clear reason for that? I'll figure that out in the video. So I got that coming up, that comparison. I've got the triple DAP comparison, and then I've got this Kanas Pro and the plastic version, just because they're basically the same thing. I think they graph the same way. And now I don't have to hit pause. Just increase one step. Kind of neat, I guess. Nah, not really. I'm out. Shelling my name to be precise, ripping mics is the light of my life. You frontin' like you trifling, never